Phyna burst through the dark street with no shoes on, her heartbeat racing louder than the rain hitting the ground. She ran with trembling hands, her cheeks still burning from the moment Dan smashed the plate on the floor beside her. Behind her, the house she had called home flickered with angry lights. That was the night she finally escaped from her husband's house. But long before that night, Phyna had lived like royalty. She was born into a home of four brothers: Peter, Sam, Victor, and Joel. They protected her, taught her confidence, and gave her a childhood filled with safety. No one dared trouble her, no one dared gossip about her, and no one dared raise their voice at her. Her brothers didn't only defend her, they shaped her like a thoughtful and a kind young woman with a steady mind. When Phyna met Dan years later, he looked calm and harmless. He behaved politely when Phyna's brothers were around. He pretended to be humble and gentle. He hid every rough edge behind soft behavior. Phyna married him believing she has found someone steady, but marriage showed her the truth. Dan started with small actions that did not look dangerous at first. He began by taking her phone without asking and reading through her messages. He deleted numbers of her old friends, telling her she didn't need them. Whenever she dressed nicely, he accused her of wanting attention. He collected her bank receipts, checked her spendings, and questioned every item she bought, even the simple things like body lotion or food. Over time, the small actions turned heavier. He locked her inside the house whenever he went out, keeping the keys in his pocket. He removed her SIM card one afternoon, claiming she didn't need too many calls. He tore one of her clothes because he felt it was too bright. He hid her job application forms, preventing her from returning to work. He forced her to quit a small baking business she loved, telling her it was a waste of time. Every day he found a new way to control something: her movement, her appearance, her money, her relationships, her time. The final break came the night he threw a plate beside her during an argument. The shattered pieces cut her foot. She saw something cold in his eyes, something she has been ignoring for too long. That night, she ran out barefoot, leaving behind her bag, her phone, and her marriage. She hid in a small rented room, hoping no one would find her. One of her brothers tried to reach her when they realized that her phone was no longer going through. They grew restless because they have tried for 2 days. They decided to go and check on her. When they got to the house, they met Dan at home, who told them that Phyna left the house since 2 days and didn't bother to tell him where she was going. The brothers became worried and they began to ask questions around the neighborhood. Someone told them that they saw Phyna running into a small apartment, looking terrified. When they eventually found Phyna, she looked like someone carrying months of fear on her shoulders. They didn't need to explain. Every bruise, every quiet sigh, every tear-filled glance told the story. The next day, they went to meet Dan. They did not arrive with shouting or threats. They arrived with purpose. They showed him photos of the damaged doors he had broken in anger. They listed the days he had locked their sister inside and taken away the key. They presented evidence from neighbors who had heard noise. They made sure he understood what he called discipline was complete abuse. Phyna's brothers involved the community leaders as well as the proper authorities, and Dan was arrested. They forced him to face consequences he thought he would escape. No violence was used, only justice, calm, clear, and powerful. Phyna learned the importance of speaking out in an unpleasant situation and never shield abusers. Phyna returned home with her brothers and began healing. Day after day, her strength returned, and bit by bit, she regained her confidence. She slowly remembered the girl she used to be. Months later, she stood outside watching the sunrise and realized she survived because she still had what Dan could never break: her four brothers, who would always fight for her peace. She became the woman who learned the truth about both love and danger. And her brothers remained what they've always been: her shield, her support, and a reminder that she deserved a life filled with respect and not